Hello and welcome to the Legacy Crusaders YouTube channel. This is Benji, and today I'm joined by GGYGO. What's up, Gary? How you doing?
Doing well, just been putting out a lot of teaching videos lately and just really trying to help out the general community, especially certain guides about decks, really in depth, so this will be no different.
All right, so if anyone's not familiar with GGYGO, check them out on YouTube and also on Twitch, Mondays and Tuesdays, I believe. So if you're not familiar with the How to Play series, I bring someone on who knows how to play a deck. They tell me what to do through a few games on YGOPRO, and I try and be you, the audience, and ask the questions that you might have about the decisions we are going to be making. Because it doesn't matter if you know the combo if you don't know what to do when you get hand trapped. So we'll be discussing those kinds of things as we play through the games. We'll do a quick card by card in case you wanted to pick up any of the cards in this deck. It's a pretty budget deck, minus, I think, Prosperity and
Right.
Raiza the Mega Monarch, Raiza the Expensive Monarch. And I think everything else is pretty affordable. And then, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, there's a TCG affiliate link in the description if anyone has any interest in picking up the cards. But for a quick breakdown of the cards, we're on 2 M-Pen, 1 Raiza the Mega Monarch, 1 Mist Valley Apex Avian, 1 Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, 3 copies of Eglin, 3 copies of Stry. I'm just reading the names from the TCG, so I'm not used to the new names. 3 copies of Robina, 3 copies of Toucan, 3 Pot of Extravagance, 1 Terraforming, 1 Gold Sark, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 2 copies of Pot of Duality, 3 Book of Moon, 1 set rotation, 1 Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds, 3 copies of Flundereze and the Mysterious Map, 1 copy of Elborz, the Sacred Lands of Samorg, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and 1 copy of Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. And in the extra, we're on 1 Invoked Mechaba, 2 copies of Elder Entity Entess, 1 copy of Cypher Lord Omega, 1 copy of Wind Pegasus Adagnister, 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder, 1 Cyber Dragon Nova, 1 Downward Magician, 1 Lyrilisk Assembled Nightingale, 2 Shurig the Ominous Omen, 3 copies of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Tri Brigade Furjet, and in the side deck we're on 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being, 3 copies of Dimension Shifter, 3 Dark Ruler No More, 3 Shared Ride, and 3 Cosmic Cyclones. So I haven't really been looking into the different builds and variations that have been going on with this deck. Is there anything about this particular build that's worth mentioning before we get started? I do know you're on this really cool field spell and set rotation, which is something I've seen only in a video of yours.
The deck itself is really reliant on having a bird and a field spell, so I don't know how much you've seen the deck play, but if you don't have both of those things, it makes the game very awkward for you. So that's where the deck inherently has a consistency issue, and that's what I tried to mitigate with things like set rotation. Set rotation is also a main deck out to Zombie World, which is your biggest problem in this entire matchup for anything, honestly. The other thing that is really different about my list versus a lot of other people's lists is I'm playing a lot of pot cards. But this is another thing where we're trying to mitigate the ways to get into your bird field spell. If you open the Prosperity and the Extravagance, you're always ripping the Prosperity first because you want to be able to get to your engine as much as possible. But having the Extravagance also guarantees that almost every turn you'll be able to draw 2, which is really nice, especially in a control-based deck. You just really need that advantage. Elborz is another field spell that actually allows you to do essentially the same thing as the map, except this one's really cool because it allows you to tribute each wing beast for 1 tribute for the entire turn. So like, let's say you have 3 monsters on your board, you can just go ahead and summon out like your Empen, your Avian, and your Raiza just all in 1 turn off 1 monster for a piece, which makes it really cool as it is also an additional normal summon. The other thing that I was trying to mitigate in this build that a lot of people aren't doing right now is, so you see a lot of people main decking Shifter, which I think is just wrong right now because a lot of the main meta currently is turning into Flunder and Sword Soul, and we still have a lot of our own meta like Bird Up that we've seen beforehand. But if you start playing against those matchups where Shifter doesn't matter, it's already a really bad card to brick on in your hands when you don't see a bird. And it's also another thing where, like, if you see it against those matchups, it's just going to make you lose that much more when they could have been a more productive card for you. And that's why I play a lot of like the small birds. I play 3 of each because they all are very good in their own respect. Toucan's definitely the one on the lesser side where it probably could be cut down a little more if you really needed space for something different. But it's still really important for your grind game because after turn 1 and like turn 3, after like you're getting into the grind, your main cards you're going for aren't actually Robina and Eglin. It's going to be Sturch and Toucan. So you switch from using your main 2 to the other 2 to be able to keep the game going. It honestly plays a lot like Striker, which you guys know I've been playing for a long time if you watch my content. And the way that I look at it, though, is the fact that you snowball an advantage so hard, especially because all the birds, when you tribute someone, come back to your hand from the banished pile. So you're just always able to go full combo on your opponent the next turn. Even on their turn, if they normal summon, the map will go off and allow you to normal summon. If they do have the Twin Twister, the reason why we don't play Scary Sea, which is the Vanity's Emptiness, is because it's very susceptible to things like the Cosmics, the Twins, that would really shut it off prior to. But if they do go ahead and twin or cosmic your City of Dreams, you can go ahead and activate it immediately and then summon at least out an Apex Avian to protect your Empen, which is honestly one of the best cards because it is not a activated effect, it's a continuous effect to have a skill drain. So the second that it is summoned, it turns off the board and allows for a lot of playability on your own end. The last comment about the list that I think is really important to talk about is in the sideboard, and that's Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler in control decks usually isn't the best thing in the world, but this is a deck that's very particular where if you have Dark Ruler and you can put up the Empen not only can just half anything that it attacks or that attacks it, being able to put up the Empen behind that just cuts off their entire board off of their effects. So being able to get to that, tribute off one of their monsters with the continuous spell, and then be able to Raiza their board away, it just puts up a situation for your opponent that they really can't out since the Robina can also search the barrier statue. There's a lot of really good plays you can set up and be able to set up rebuttal for your opponent as well.
So Dark Ruler is good enough in here because there's at least something we could set up that's justifiable in this control deck. All right, so I sort of know what these cards do. I'll be honest, I haven't been testing it. I have played against it a few times. I find it incredibly annoying with all the adding back of the cards every time a normal summon happens. So it's definitely a solid deck. Very curious how well this is going to go. We'll play a few games and we'll come back to the deck list at the end, see if maybe something doesn't come up. We'll address it then. All right, ready to roll?
Yeah, the I do want to mention one more thing too, is that Phoenix as that 3 randomly in extra deck, because extra deck doesn't matter in this deck outside of the Assembled Nightingale and the Zeus, because that will come up like very rarely. But Nightmare Phoenix is at 3 because like you literally just need an out to Zombie World. If you don't have one, you just kind of lose.
All right, there's no there's not a lot of real sensible main deck cards you can play in this deck that deal with it, I guess. We can't use Unknown Wind because we can't tribute summon a non-zombie monster under Zombie World, but fortunately not everybody is like playing Zombie World yet, but that is something that might happen, I guess, if this deck is way better or performing way better than expected. I think the only deck that I know that can really easily put up like a Zombie World is like Virtual World, because they'll like make Beatrice and like Foolish the Necroworld Banshee.
And Drytron.
Oh yeah, Drytron can also make the Beatrice and do that. Okay, I haven't seen them do that before, but I guess it makes sense that they'd be able to do that. All right, so that's good to know. And I think we lose Hard to Droll, right? That's the other like hand trap.
Yeah, because the birds all have to resolve their effects to be able to normal summon the other one. So that's where Droll really does hurt. And we play things like the Book of Moon to dodge the imperms. So it does get a little rough in this deck. And you'll see kind of some of the problems that you face when you play it and then some of the upsides as well. And it's really just like once you start going, like it's so hard to stop with all the rebuttal that you have. Especially if you just have the map, like it's so good. And then a lot of people don't know that the continuous spell actually has the effect to basically magical mallet 2 cards in your hand. So it's really nice too, because for the grind you can just get to your cards that you really need.
Yeah. Also, I think if you don't have like a big monster to search off the Elgin, you can't even activate it. So sometimes I guess you just got to put them back in the deck.
Yeah, so that's another thing too, where you have like the Sturch and the Toucan, which is always very nice as well, because like even if you can't resolve the Eaglin, you at least have a means of getting your big guys back if they are gone.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's get into some games and we'll see what comes up, and I'll get some ideas for more questions as we go, because I haven't really fiddled with the deck from this perspective. We are on pre-release, so we might see some OCG stuff, just to avoid waiting for games forever, so just a warning. You play enough Edo Pro here and there to at least see some of the weirder stuff that comes up. We want a dice roll? I assume we're going first.
Absolutely going first.
All right. What is the play line?
Definitely just rip that extravagance right off the bat. Really good here. Draw 6. Or banish 6, rather.
All right.
Excellent, excellent.
Not enough
Pot of
pots.
duality.
Not enough pots here. All right.
Yeah, this is like it's always an interesting situation, right? Because you never really know where you're gonna go with it. So this is also like really interesting because like you get to the Toucan here, but like it's also not like the best one to see. So this is gonna be like getting the Toucan here. I would say just so you have an additional resource for you.
Alrighty.
You go ahead and normal that Empen, or not the Empen, sorry, the Eaglin. Yeah.
Alrighty. Preferable search.
So here you kind of want to just figure out what you already have. You usually would search like the M pin. I'd probably get the avian here because like the Raiza isn't really like needed yet, so I just go for the avian.
And normal summon a wing beast.
So this is really awkward, but so you kind of have to like hit no here and then just like set the I would set the Book of Moon and I would set the extravagance.
Alrighty.
You'll have enough follow up for next turn, but this is where the control X gotta live for a turn.
Yeah, so I guess we couldn't really do much with the toucan because nothing's banished, so we wouldn't be able to resolve that to put out the Empin.
You just want to hold your resources as much as possible, honestly.
Well, I figure maybe there's a chance we put out the Empin if we could, just to make it hard for them to play. Not that we really want to like throw everything at the board all at once.
Yep, because I mean we still have a good playback with the prosperity as well.
Yeah, although we are running pretty low on extra deck. We only have the option for Extrav and the Prosperity left. I guess we can resolve one of them for one card.
You're always prospering for 6, like straight away. Like that's the one you always want to resolve.
I guess in this case, especially since we're like digging for a good starter, since we didn't manage to get to a field spell yet.
Yeah, the second he clears this eagle in here, we're gonna be in a very good position.
Yeah, these cards are really funny. You mentioned something in one of your videos, like you can't use them for droplet, right? Because the cost can't be paid.
Correct. You can add a Madness Display trap from your hand, return when you banish or. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
If this is just like a generic shit-all deck, sometimes they just play this to have a light monster that searches a fusion spell to go into like construct, I think.
Well, that's kind of cool. I've actually never seen this card yet, so this is the first. Special summon a spellcaster from your hand. Interesting. Okay. With an equip spell, it's not really relevant. Okay, that's fine.
Although booking a monster that's equipped with some stuff could be productive.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. Okay, so I'm assuming that he might be using that to like basically will out of his hand, but we'll see. Yeah, this is fine.
I'm surprised it didn't specify which effect he was using.
Yeah.
I guess there's only one that he could use. Witch of the Black Forest. An oldie but a goodie.
I would have open game stages booked that, to be fair.
Oh, well, I passed on that. Well, we can book whatever this is.
Yep. What is he going into? 2, you can attach 1 from this card. Yeah, absolutely. We're booking that all day long.
Alright, get booked. And fortunately, that Witch of the Black Forest is not going to be doing anything as an Exi material going to the graveyard.
Book of Moon is still such a strong card. I feel like it's very underwhelming for a lot of people, but it's actually just so good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, this is amazing. Definitely rip that Prosperity for 6.
Alright. What do we want to keep?
I mean, at this point, we know that we're playing against nothing really like that relevant, so I would just get rid of like anything, honestly, here. It doesn't really matter. Like, nothing's going to pull the extra deck, and nothing's going to be like Zombie World on us, so I'm not really concerned.
Alright, I'm just gonna... I guess I'll leave the Merry Christmas package.
Ash is perfectly fine here. That's actually amazing that he did that.
All
we can go ahead and normal that Robina.
Yeah, because we don't really want to get stuck on this as our only summon here.
No, we can go ahead and get that, the barrier statue. Go ahead and get that M-Pin out.
Should we add everything back?
Yeah, M-Pin Chainlink 1 for sure. A lot of people, you'll see people just add 1 back, which is smart, but I think it's fine. We can just go Eagle in here and then Robina as well.
Alright, so people leave them, occasionally leave them banished so that they have a chain block for the next normal summon, should there be another one.
Yeah, but we already have like Ash, and they don't have like any crazy Omni Negate on their board, so I'm not like particularly concerned about it. So we'll go ahead here. Well, this is actually like a really interesting situation now where like you kind of want to decide what you want to do with this. Since we can still normal summon the Eagle in here, which is pretty good because we can go Eagle in, normal summon, that can add... Honestly, here, this is an interesting situation. I'd probably grab the map so we can go a lot harder here than what we would otherwise. I can go ahead and normal summon that Eagle in. Go Eagle in effect here. It's going to go ahead and get that Raiza.
Alright. Well, this might have been a reason to leave one of our cards banished so we can trigger the toucan.
That's true.
Alright, what should we normal?
The barrier statue for sure.
Alright.
And then here, I would go ahead and activate that map. And I would go map effect, reveal the toucan, and I would banish search. Or no, actually, what we can do here, which is actually really cool, we can go ahead and banish the City of Dreams. And then we can go ahead and normal the toucan, then toucan add that City of Dreams. It's gonna strike here. That's just fine. Like, sure. All right. So this is where we can just go ahead and attack with the Empen. Do you remember like what the defense on this thing was?
2,800.
28. That's pretty big. So we don't want to waste our Robina here, but we want to get rid of that. Can I see what it does when it goes to the grave?
I don't believe it does anything.
No, he has like the witch too.
The witch won't trigger from there.
So let's just go ahead and attack with that Empen then. I honestly think that this is probably fine to just go ahead and banish that avian from the hand. I don't think that's going to be really relevant right now. It is nice to have the additional negate, but like Raiza loop is just so scary.
All right, so if they normal summon, we get a normal summon, right?
Yeah, because so they have a card to special right now, and the only thing they can do is normal summon. So like, it's going to be pretty free at that point. It's a pass turn here, honestly. We got the bluff face down still. Setting a card, admirable.
Yeah, in the column, in the probably gonna imperm the.
Whatever shall we do?
I don't know. Attack for game seems pretty solid.
Yeah. So he's gonna go ahead here and try to do some stuff. Searching one. We can go ahead and trigger that immediately here. Just go ahead. I'm gonna summon that Robina. He's gonna search. Robina's gonna get us a starch.
Let's read this quick play spell and see if it's anything to be worried about.
You can, because it was on your extra deck. I honestly don't think it's gonna do a whole lot here. I think we're fine. Yeah, so we can just go ahead and go Robina, chain toucan.
Make sure we have a normal summon.
I mean, we're just gonna Raiza here, honestly. Add the Sturch.
Normal. Normal search?
Raiza.
Oh, Raiza? Okay.
It's over the Eaglin and the Robina.
Tribute summoned by tributing one tribute summoned monster. Oh, that's funny. But I guess we're not doing that.
No.
Alright. Which ones? I'm sorry. Elgin and Robina?
Yeah.
Alright, since we tributed wind monsters, what exactly does Raiza do? It has like the weirdest... It's got like some really odd text.
So you can target a card in the field, and then one either plays graveyard, and then also if it was tributed off of a wind, you can place, or like you can return an additional target on the field of the hand. So this is where you return your Raiza to your hand, then you can keep looping Raiza on your opponent.
Okay, so what I think first we're picking the top deck, right?
Yeah, so I'm definitely getting rid of that Cendrilion, the monster on his field.
Alright.
And then as far as graveyard goes, this is actually really cool because you can recycle your own stuff if you need it. But I think it's way better to make him draw an Ash. So we can go ahead and give him that.
And then Raiza back to hand?
Yeah, Raiza back. Hold your resources as much as possible, and then you can go ahead and get these back. That's like the strangest window for these, but it's so nice that they just come back.
Yeah, they never really stop. So this is going to equip something.
That's fine. It'll be off the board before the equip does anything.
I mean, unless it makes itself unaffected, but I don't know if that's really going to do much. If it makes itself unaffected and makes itself big enough to attack the barrier statue, maybe they'll do something. I doubt it. The Artemis. It's not loading its image, but this is the first time I've seen Artemis used as it's supposed to be used.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like that at that point it doesn't really matter because there's nothing they really can equip to it that makes it like that relevant. So just controlling the game state with Flunder is the best thing you can do, and just keep Raiza looping your opponent. It's so good.
They may have super rage quit because I believe my YGOPRO is malfunctioning at the moment, so I'm gonna have to restart that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it went. We are potentially siding. Any thoughts on what to do versus? I have no idea what the hell this deck does. I feel like we should probably just do nothing.
So it's interesting because the deck probably won't do a whole lot, but like we did see some back row. So I'd probably be more apt to put in like my Cosmics, just to make sure things go well. it didn't look like he cared too much about like where things went, but he did have like the Witch of the Black Forest in there. I'd probably pull out a Toucan. And this is interesting too because we didn't really see a whole lot of what he was trying to do. So this is also where I really like to pull out pot cards. So I'd pull out like one extra and one prosp. Because like when you're going second, you want your hands to be as consistent as possible, and having two ofs gives you the most variety.
There's no scenario we can activate all 3 pots just because extra will conflict with prosperity, right?
Correct. Yeah, see, like this hand's correct. We did like we get a draw, and then we also get the duality. So like, this is excellent. The Cendrilian, I believe, is going to get met here, but the Exceed though was able to special summon from the deck, so that's probably one that we'll just save the Imperm for, from what I was reading. Wow, this man's just always has this thing.
So save it for the follow-up card?
I would save it for follow-up.
Alright. There's like one guy at my locals who actually plays some version of this, but I refuse to read it. I just beat him anyway.
Wait, they actually call that thing Invocation? That's hilarious.
Yeah, Magistus Invocation. Well, I mean, the deck is like a mix of all the spellcasters from like every deck that's out in the game, you know? There's an Alistair in here. There's Endymions in here. I don't know what Zeroa is. I assume it's a spellcaster from another deck.
You can equip it with a Magistus from your extra deck. If this card becomes equipped to the Magistus card, you can summon one spellcaster from your hand or graveyard in defense. Interesting, that does nothing. Okay.
And it's
I assume you just Exceed here.
Well, we might get to learn what these do. There's a new secret rare that's interesting.
The Synchro?
Yeah, it like makes your guys like unaffected by some stuff.
I saw that was pretty good. I'm pretty sure we just like let this go through. Nothing's like really scary or like hard to deal with yet, so I don't think that we worry about this right now.
At least not yet.
Well, like the second you normal the Impin, right? Like it's kind of GG in the chat.
Yeah, there's not a lot of monsters that are productive in defense position to use their effects. Fusion
That's why I like Baron though, because you can summon Baron in defense and like pop a card.
Yeah, Baron in defense, DPE, the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer.
The level 8 Sword Soul guy, he can also negate.
Yeah, Chisao.
When this card is equipped, this monster gains stop and attack. You can target one of the phases, you can equip this card to it. This card was equipped to an opponent's monster by this effect. Take control of it. Interesting. He has a Savage. I would meet this now with an Imperm.
Seems like as good of a place as any.
So he has a Snatch Steal is what he has.
We could Cosmic it when he does that. I assume that would make it resolve without effect, because it's technically an equip card.
You can target one of the pieces of monster in the field, equip this card to it. Oh my god, that's so insane. If this card was equipped to an opponent's monster, you take control of the opponent's monster, also can activate its effects. Interesting. Alright, Terraforming, then Duality.
Sounds good.
This is broke.
Yeah, this looks like an optimal hand.
Alright, we're gonna just Duality behind that, because why not?
Yeah, let's see what our full options are.
Free value is free. Oh my god. We're immediately grabbing that all day.
Oh, which
book
card?
them in.
Oh, book? We just want to book this thing and not even worry about it?
Not even worry about it.
Get booked.
That's full combo if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, can he equip himself to Savage for something? I don't think so.
Can I read that spell real fast just to make sure I don't like oof? The first time I match this, destroy is not. Okay, that card does nothing right now. Just map and then reveal Rabina.
Alright, so the map is going to let us banish a different one from the deck, right?
Yeah, so we just banish like the eagle in here.
Alright.
Then that's gonna just go ahead and add the berry statue.
Add the Elgin.
Yep. This is so strong. Like just this little interaction here is so crazy.
Normal Winged Beast, yes?
Yeah, we'll get the eagle in. Whenever you have the opportunity to grab your like your Apex Avian and you have the Sea of Dreams, you should almost always grab the Apex Avian. So that's what we'll do right now.
Apex.
Because yeah, because if he comes back with like a twin or like a cosmic on our city, we can at least put up a negate.
Gotcha. What are we summoning?
Empin.
Okay, we need something, I guess, to get over these cards.
And then Eppin will allow us to summon the barrier statue.
Should we add back
Yep.
both of these?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
Oh.
scooped.
They rage quit. Okay, well,
wasn't-
we didn't get into too much of a hairy scenario to have to play out of with this matchup. Maybe we'll get something that's a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to put down the Magista's deck for the one or two of you who might actually play it who are watching. All right, winning the dice rolls, making things easy.
Yeah, so this is definitely an amazing hand. Again, we have set rotation here, so we can go ahead and rip that right off the rip. We're going to give them Alborz to... So this is us right now, so we get map. And then we'll give them the Alborz.
I'm so thankful you play YGOPRO and caught that, because I haven't played set rotation in a long time.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, hold up. I saw you come up with the Alborz.
I feel like I almost did a screw up similar with the Raiza earlier. So if you're playing on YGOPRO, make sure you read in the top bar here. It says what effect you're doing first.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and activate this map. Very good. I'll go ahead and use that, and then reveal our Eagle in here, and then get to our Robina. And then Eaglin will grab the Avian, and then we will add back our Robina. Which is really cool here, because like even if we get impermed, it literally doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, Apex Avian?
Yep.
Got
Kind
distracted
of sucks
for a
to
second.
see. It's like really sucks too. Yeah, Robina, then barrier statue. It like really sucks whenever you see all your tribute summons in your hands, because you just know that Eaglin's gonna be like dead soon. So you just gotta keep making sure that you're doing things correctly. And like Mega Raiza can also like shuffle back cards to your deck when they go to the graveyard, like your Empen, like your Avian and whatnot. So it's just another really good resource to keep recycling your cards.
Alrighty.
And then yeah, so you're just gonna search it there. You would just normally Empen and then normal summon the barrier statue, but it's fine. We have another normal summon, so go ahead and tribute off the Eagle and the Robina.
Oh, so I was supposed to summon the. So I missequenced the summon just to verify.
Yeah, so you go Robina and you search the barrier statue, and then you normal summon the Empen, and the Empen allows you another summon, and so then you can summon the barrier statue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did that cost us any particular like setup in this case?
No, not at all. We have everything right now. We'll add both, or just the Eagle and back. Sorry, because we already
The
used
other
Robina,
one came from the map.
which is honestly fine because that just gives us chain block anyway, and then we get the unknown wins.
Does the tribute effect also apply to our opponent's turn?
Yes, and this is gonna be a no. You don't want to summon anything else. So like we can tribute off our opponent's card and then summon out like a Raiza or an Apex Avian, which is just very good.
All right.
We can go ahead, set the city, and activate the winds, and then we can just pass her on over.
All right. This looks like a solid setup.
This is Flundereze God board. Upstart, starting very strong.
Yeah, it means he must be on Striker. Who else plays Upstart Goblin? Never mind.
Man, it's plus 1,000.
Drytron? Well, they can't play under Barrier Statue.
That'd be very awkward. We'll see.
Necroz. Oh, they can't play under Barrier Statue.
Yeah, it's also very awkward.
Yeah, what is the most likely out for Necroz? A Manju, I guess?
And normal summon Manju, yeah.
Do they even do that anymore? Or
I
they're
don't
mostly
think they can play that.
They're on Talisman
Imps.
or
yeah.
incantations or whatever they're called nowadays.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever they summon here, they're just gonna auto lose to us flipping City of Dreams.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we don't have to flip that too, but like City of Dreams also has a cool effect in the secondary where if you normal summon or like tribute summon a level 7 or higher, you can book a moon all their monsters.
Okay. The Snow also books things, right? We're not playing it, but
Yeah, Snow is just really terrible. It allows you like 3 extra normal summons, and like it's just not very good.
I haven't experimented against it enough to conclude that yet. All I know is my roommate was playing against it the other day. He was on Lyrilisk, the other bird deck, and his opponent did play the Snow, and getting booked was getting him, but he might have got booked by the trap. I wasn't really paying attention to. He was like playing next to me at the time. We were running. All right. Let's see if we can get a match.
Yeah, this deck's always really fun because you never really know what kind of matches you're going to run into and how you're going to be able to interact because this format's a little different than what we're used to. So I really like this as just being the control deck that it is.
Oh, we won the dice roll. We got the pot.
So it definitely looks like we're ripping that pot right away here for 6. It looks like we're just going to be digging for that field spell. It doesn't really matter. I would leave like 1 Phoenix because we don't know what we're playing against yet.
Yeah.
Definitely leaving like the Zeus package. We don't know if we're playing against something that needs a Christmas package. So just the 1 Natis, the 1 Omega. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And then that's also, yeah, the out to the downer here is fine. And the other Omen, honestly.
All right. Ooh,
Oh, there's one. Oh, there's another really good card. All right, I would just probably grab the side rotation because anytime that you can get map, like Elborz is nice to have, but like if you can get to map, you just should get to map. It's so much better.
Yeah, I would kind of like to experience Elborz, but at the same time, I'd rather just make it so our opponent can't imperm anything by having a card on the field.
Well, it's also not just that, right? Because if you have the map instead, then like the second they normal summon, you can just like make Avian or like go on Raiza. Like there's a lot of cool things you can just do.
Gotcha. Is that rotation?
Yep. I'm just gonna fire that off immediately here. Definitely setting that to our field, the map, and then giving them Elborz. So we already have a hand of literally the variety pack, which is pretty nice here. The only one that we don't have, unfortunately, is Toucan, which is kind of cool in this scenario. So I definitely would just recommend going ahead and doing the map. And then we can reveal Robina. And this is where I'd definitely just go ahead and banish Unexplored Winds because we don't have that yet. We can just normal summon that Robina, and then we can search the barrier statue. It's going to be met with a Gamma. Interesting.
So we won't be able to stick a Gamma this turn. I mean, a barrier statue.
Honestly, that's fine, because he just shot himself off of Imperm. I would just go ahead and do the Sturge first here, which is fine.
Well, he was already off of Imperm because of we gave him a field spell.
Well, that as well, yeah. We'll go ahead and add back that Robina, and then Sturge can just banish one of the spells. It doesn't matter.
In the instance you actually do play cards like,
Shifter.
Shifter in the main, you might actually be able to Shifter someone twice.
I would go ahead and normal that Eaglin. This one's just going to go ahead here and add us the Avian. I like to just have it in hand. And just in case you ever have to go like City of Dreams or what have you, and immediately just drop this on them. Because if they twin you immediately, the first thing you're doing is dropping Avian. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and tribute out the Empen. Then I would just honestly add both of them back. You can leave like the Sturge banished if you want to play around like Ash as well on the follow-up turn, which is completely up to you. But I think just adding them back is fine because the next turn we're gonna
for once. I feel like in every other game we pick them both up just to see if it matters.
We can get that City of Dreams here. Then no, we're not gonna normal summon though.
Not when there's no value.
No, we'll just go ahead and set that city and pass it up here. It's fine.
I wonder what they're on. What's playing Gamma nowadays?
Dragon.
Yeah, I suppose they would be.
It'd be Dragon or VW in my head. Well, that's a field spell, so not that.
Well.
And Dragon doesn't play Terraforming. Oh, he's actually unironically playing Cypherance. So that's funny.
That is pretty funny. So that explains why there was a Gamma in here, which means there could be another Gamma.
He's okay. Yeah, I was about to say he just wants to play Circuit here. I was like confused for all of 2 seconds. Yeah, we're good.
Set rotation says he has to activate it. The question is, should we do something? Well, I guess it doesn't really make a difference now, because if the field spell's not on the field, he can't do the synchro with the field spell. But it is their turn, so they could just do synchro summon. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just fine just to hold here, and because like his cards don't do anything as long as you don't do anything.
Well, we can. I don't
like he can hit you with the trap, but other than that, like as long as you don't do anything against this deck, like they also don't do anything against you. So like it's just very important to keep that in mind.
Well, if we can get to the barrier statue and just normal it, the game is over.
Yeah, That's also very true, but we have to see what it's going to try to do here. Is that Scythe Field Zone? Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it's
does that
gonna
do
summon
again?
Omega, which will be in defense. But while Omega's on the board, we can summon the Robina, search the barrier statue, and prevent him from doing anything else.
Is that just summoning them both to the field right now?
It's putting them back in the graveyard and summoning a synchro monster.
I would just chain it here.
All right. Yeah, I think that's the right timing. Robina?
Yeah, Rabina for sure.
All right, so Robina's going to hit the field. Omega's going to hit the field. Robina's going to search and then do the normal summon.
Yeah, because when you chain it to that right there, then he's gonna have a monster on board, like regardless here. So like when your turn play, or well, I mean he is, but you can activate this here, which is fine, and then you won't be able to get Gamut here because you didn't have like Lambda on board, so he would have to like go ahead and chain the Omega, which would be really unfortunate because YGOPRO has a really bad algorithm with this. So like if you add the barrier statue right now, more than likely if he activates Omega, it auto rip the card you drew or like searched.
Well, I think he can't really use it in the middle of the chain because the summon of the barrier statue is going to be in the middle of the chain. So if we had it now and just summon it,
Yeah.
he won't actually be able to do anything. Unless
So,
if we try to summon anything else, but we could just summon the barrier statue.
I think we just summon Barry here because the Omega won't be able to attack over it, and so he's kind of just dead.
Yep. Like,
Because I'm pretty sure the trap in the grave just searches one on the follow-up turn.
yeah, but they can't really be activated. So he really needs to trap in hand to try and out the barrier statue because he can't use beta or anything like that. Oh, if that's the trap, that's the problem.
Oh no, you just scooped it up. Yeah, Barrier Statue's too OP.
All right, we have a very odd matchup.
Correct.
Thoughts?
I would definitely be putting in the Cosmics because I don't want to just randomly get synchroed on constantly.
I don't know how good Imperm is here.
Imperm can definitely leave the deck right now. I think that Book of Moons ought to be a star card right now. Because as long as he doesn't have Circuit, if we can like Book of Moon a monster onto his board, like it's going to be a really rough go for him.
So what do you think? This is good?
I think this is fine.
Should be good.
The one time the Book of Moon's unironically just insane.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Psyframes get banished if they get booked. Oh, this automatically wins the game if he doesn't have the trap card.
Okay, so he opens up the field. He
Stop
does have the
setting trap cards.
Well, there's a couple trap cards. This should be fun. Okay, so I think that smart move here, because this is actually really interesting, because we only had the eagle. I was about to say, if you had another bird in hand, I would definitely just start normal summoning before you activate the map, because you want him to act like you just don't have the field spell. I would activate the terraforming though.
There's also, there's a chance that's Delta, but
There is a chance of that here. I would add map. I know that Elbors is really tempting here, but like you don't want to give him the information that you already have a map in hand. If you add the Elbors, then he automatically knows another card in your hand.
yeah, he might Delta this, make Omega, try and steal the other one, or try to.
Honestly, like hot take here, I would pass. I would like normal summon Wind Barrier Statue, attack for 1,000 and pass.
All right. The real question is, do we want to commit the barrier statue anyway? But I guess we will.
Like if he has trap, like the barrier statue is gonna be gone either way. Like I'm not too concerned about that. But like getting on the board and just going for pokes and just trying to draw at his traps like as much as possible right now is really important. But like the number one thing against this deck is literally if you do not play the game, they don't play as well.
Yeah. Should we set anything else? Is there a reason to?
No, I would just pass because like if he has like a twin or something right now, because you just side deck, then you're playing a back row deck for the most part. Like with map and city, like they want to get rid of those. You just don't want your resources wasted at this point. He's just gonna pass back to you. Like you can literally just keep punching with the
Well,
barrier
we can't
statue.
activate the Psyframes while we control the wind barrier statue because they're light monsters. So we can still do stuff.
I would just keep punching. Like there's literally no point right now to do anything else.
Well,
I
we can
would
thin
just
the
keep
deck.
punching.
We can because at this point he hasn't drawn. Assuming he has a circuit set, he hasn't drawn a Psyframe to banish the statue. So if we just keep summoning things, we can get damage out.
I would literally just keep punching with the barrier statue. There is no reason to commit anything to the board right now.
Well,
He's gonna have to flip it at some point. Can I read that real fast?
Alpha's the summon one. This banishes our card face down.
You can banish one, target one card on the field, banish it face down, hand or face up on the field. So this is a soft once return.
Yeah, this card's solid when you have a hand full of Cyframes.
Okay, now this is where we can kind of do things here. So yeah, we just won't chain anything to that because there's no point. We can go ahead and then activate map.
Well, we're in the battle phase, so activate map.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you're just sitting there like baiting, like what you can bait, like you just hold as long as you can to know what their back row is, because like the more stuff that you know, the more that you can play around. So I would go ahead here and then go map, and I would go reveal Eaglin. And I would banish the unexplored winds. Because we got to deal with that. This can add Emp in here. And then summon the toucan, and then add back the unexplored winds.
And I wonder what card they have that they're sitting on here in the hand.
It's a gamma.
Ah.
Yeah, that's gonna be unfortunate here, but like it's because so with this one he's gonna be able to synchro.
Well, we can book the gamma or the driver.
It's like a bird. It's like an immediately after, I believe, that you synchro. Or no, you can't actually
It's an
do that
activated
here.
effect. The question is, we want the driver to get banished.
Yeah, you just book the gamma here for sure.
Also, they're going to get a battle phase. This is small. It won't get over all of our monsters. But if we do let the driver get banished, that turns on Psychic Field Zone.
I would just set the gamma here, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then I think we pass, right?
Yeah, we don't have to play more right now. It's fine.
I love this high frame deck. I played it for a while. It's fun.
I've had to play against it a couple times. Back when we were playing Monarch format, this was an actual deck that people played, which was kind of wild.
Yeah.
I wonder if he actually runs a 6 for that reason alone. That'd be interesting.
My builds did, but my builds are weird. I played a zombie high frame deck because I actually wanted to make plays that didn't rely on my opponent.
Is that other thing a tuner?
This thing is not. This brings back a yeah, this is part of the one card Lambda play. You go into Cyverse Gadget, you get the Disciple, which summons the token, they get the Devotee, they get to Tribute, get 2 tokens, they make a Linkaribo, go into Lambda, they get to cycle a card, which there's no point to them to do now because they have no cards in hand.
Interesting. All right, win it. I would go ahead and just go reveal Robina map.
Well, they might just banish it, but it doesn't really do anything. Because we only had one normal summon anyway.
Yeah, that's just the interruption that we had to play around anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, in the end phase, they'll search another Cyframe.
All right, we'll just go ahead and normal that Robina.
It is a little unfortunate that our barrier statue's gone.
Yeah, I mean, we traded out. It's fine. We got free information off of it. I would go ahead and add. Well, this one's kind of tricky because you want to be able to chain block the gammas now. So I would probably just add back the Eaglin, even though like we know that he doesn't have a gamma right now.
Let's take them both.
I almost would have just left the toucan there just for that instance alone, but this is fine. Looking around here, what we have to get, I probably would just say the Sturch because we don't have that yet. This is where I would normal summon the Toucan because we need to get that unexplored winds back. That's gonna be really huge here because we can use that to like basically just throw away cards. I would go. This is interesting here. I would definitely just go for the Empen, but a big part of me kind of wants to go for the Apex Avian here, just because it'd be nice to have. But I would just summon the Empen first because it'll show off the Lambda from still adding things back every turn. We can actually like run over it and get a lot of damage in.
So Empen.
Yeah, I'd go Empen. Then Empen here can go ahead and add probably just like another map because like that's all we really have to add at this point.
Should we leave something banished?
No, we're definitely taking as much out of there as we can right now because we have the unexplored winds, so we can get free draws. I'm pretty sure the only thing that we'll be getting rid of here is going to end up being like that Sturch, but this is fine. I would probably normal summon the Empen because in case he does get a Gamma, if we're not able to get to our Avian, at least we know right now we can.
Oh, the Elgin, right? Not the...
Yeah, the Elgin.
Just making sure.
What if we got Raiza? And then we could Raiza away his Omega. Because it's 2 cards off. Oh, no, it's 1 card in the grave, 1 card on the board, and then an additional card to hand. So I wouldn't like matter too much here. I think the Avian is just the wave. Yeah, I think that's probably fine.
Should we just hold it in hand, or?
I mean, I would hold it because there's no other way that you really can go about that right now outside of like the... Well, I mean, we can normal a Sturch here. Yeah, I think we should just go ahead and normal that Sturch. I kind of want to be greedy and go for draws here, but like, I don't think that we really need to. Yeah, we can go Sturch effects. We can banish. What does the Cyber's Gadget do when it's banished?
Nothing. It does something when it's normaled, but it didn't. There was no card in his graveyard to summon a level 2 or lower monster. Well, they rage quit. But we were going to actually resolve Unexplored Winds effect to put back 1 and draw 1, I guess.
So I would have kept the Ravina in hand just because you need something to be able to normal summon off of the City of Dreams. The reason we got the Unexplored Winds back and why that's so important right now is because we're going to swing over the Lambda. And then we would have been able to go Unexplored Winds immediately off of our like City of Dreams, and then go ahead and tribute summon out our Avian, and then tribute their back row, like continuous, the Banisher one, and one of our own monsters, and then summon out like the Avian, and then we would have been able to have a negation, and they would have had like no interruption with us outside of like a possible Gamma. Right. So I think it would have been really good.
Gotcha. All right. Let's try and get one more game in.
If you're not prepared for Rogue, I feel like it's just a rough time, you know?
It is, and I'm sure there are people who watch these videos who are wondering, like, why do we care about these matchups with these random decks? I'm like, you know, they're going to surprise you at tournaments, you gotta know what you're doing. All the field spells. So we do have a dead card in deck.
Set rotation, I mean, that's just like the fine trade-off, right? Like, I think this hand's broken. Like, we're fine the way we are right now.
We did lose the dice roll. We haven't lost the dice roll at all yet, so...
No, we're playing as Marincess, which is interesting.
So, what's better, Marincess or Salad with this new support?
So Salad, I mean, like, it's one of those decks that's just like super linear, but I still feel like that is better than Marincess just because like the win con of this deck is still something that outright just gets dumpstered by a kaiju. Or any like form of like making Underworld Goddess, which is a very popular card right now, at least semi-popular that I've been seeing pop up here and there. And then having again just like people citing in like the kaijus, especially for like the Samorg and the barrier statue. Now I feel like Marincess is just at a really low end until it can really solve that kind of an issue with like some kind of its own lock or playing like maybe the water barrier statue. I feel like it's just like really hard to justify playing that when those kind of things are legal.
Yeah. I hate this card. Search Imperm and make all your monsters unaffected by card effects.
Yeah, that card's a problem. Let's see how we can go about this. If we went first here, oh my lord, this hand's crazy.
E-Telly. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll be able to break through. Just because the book doesn't really disrupt anything in this matchup. We kind of get, well, the book will protect us from that Marincess wave, but his guys will still be unaffected. This thing negates back row, I think.
Can you check the log and look at it real fast?
Which one? The
wave. But to check something. If you control a target one face of monster, your opponent controls and negate that face of monster. Then if you control, interesting. Okay. I think we'll be fine. Because, yeah. I think we'll be fine.
This thing's a negate, by the way. It's a weird one though.
Okay, let me read this thing then. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack other monsters while this card is in the EMZ. You can target one water monster you control and one card your opponent controls and return them to the hand. So it's not a quick effect.
No.
When a spell or trap card is activated on the field during your opponent's turn, special summon one of your Marincess monster cards equipped to this card if you do negate the activated effect. All right, so I'm 110% ripping the duality right here immediately. Let's just see what we can get into. So I'm pretty sure it's just like unaffected while it's in the EMZ currently. So the biggest thing we're gonna have to do is like try to run over this thing. And I'm pretty sure Empen, does Empen half or gain? I would have to like read it again.
It halves, I think.
Okay, so we'll just grab that toucan here. Perfectly fine.
Set rotation would be nice. If we had it field spell. Just because we can get rid of the Battle Ocean, which in some cases would deal with a lot of the problem.
It would. It actually just would. And that's why set rotation is just inherently very good. It also allows for the Flunder deck to not get nailed by an evenly matched, which is equally good. Because you can just activate it and they can't activate it from hand. Yeah. But so here I would definitely go ahead and just activate well, I mean, we could just go ahead and activate map here because it's our best option, but I feel like this is the first thing to get negated here. So it's kind of a hard decision at that point because he does have wave. So if we went normal summon the Robina, he goes chain wave, and then we go Book of Moon the Robina, and then we go the Eglin. Eglin's gonna add us the Empen. I'm trying to think if we have anything big enough to even be able to swing over this in this deck, because I'm sure that we don't. Which is like a problem.
Half of 43 we would get over. This thing's not.
Yeah,
unaffected.
It's unaffected.
It will be when the wave resolves.
But did it? Was it used with the Crystal Heart?
No. He linked that off before.
Okay. So I would go ahead and activate the map then here. See what we can do. Try to bait this negate. Because we still have Elbows, which is fine. It's not exactly ideal, but we still have it. I would go ahead and use that and like reveal Toucan.
Alright, so he's negating it.
Alright, so enemy is going to come out here. This is actually just interesting now because you have to decide what you want to do, but I'll keep the Elbows as kind of like not showing him that we have that. So I'll go ahead and activate, or like normal summon the Robina now and search Eglin.
Just a quick comment. Robina is water, Toucan is wind, and I know Elbows has some weird restriction with wind monsters.
We have nothing banished though, so we can't summon the Toucan right away.
Oh, we have to add back a banish card?
Yeah, so Toucan can't be summoned here.
Alright, so normal Robina, try and grab Elgon.
Chain wave.
Now, would us preventing ourselves from being negated make it so that his monsters will still be affected?
What do you mean by that?
Well, wave gives some weird-ass protection. Alright, so we're just going to briefly read this. Target phase of monster your opponent controls negate that effect. Then if you control a link 2 or higher, your monsters are unaffected. So I'm a little unsure if they'll be affected by this. It says then. It doesn't say and if you do. So they might be unaffected by our card effects.
I would just chain the book here.
Well, we don't want to get negated, so I mean, no matter what, we were doing that. But it would be nice to know if these cards are unaffected or not.
That's what I want to know here.
Well, there's one way to find out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead here and add the Eglin. That's fine. Normal summon that Eglin. Okay, go ahead and use this.
Please tell me this thing isn't once per turn. Or is once per turn. Doesn't say. So I assume it's not.
Yeah, that would be what we call a problem.
Yeah, you know, imperms, multiple imperms in hand while cards are on board. Well then.
That is equally what we call a problem.
Well, we control a Wind-Wing Beast.
Yes, so Elborz is an option.
What do you think?
Yep. I would throw it. I would do it. All right, definitely just activating that, slapping down this Raiza.
Let's use one less tribute, I guess.
I definitely wish we would have got that Empen here. It would have made this game pretty fast and easy. Go ahead and drop the. Yeah, we need the additional summon here.
God
We'll go ahead and activate Elborz.
Oh. Okay, I didn't realize I have to trigger that. All right.
So go ahead and just tribute the face down Robina. It's fine.
Oh, well, we don't get the extra bounce because it was water. Well, what are we moving?
I don't think it really matters because it's just an extra thing from hand. So I think that here, well, because like we were just gonna make him draw into it anyway. Which triggering the Eglin here would have been fine too because you get the additional like throwaway. The biggest problem is that we still can't clear the Battle Ocean, so it's gonna just be a rough time. I don't know if they're still unaffected or not.
I mean,
I would say
I don't either. I think we should just try.
I think the Argonaut would not be affected, or like it would be able to be affected. So I think we should get rid of it.
And a card will return to the deck.
I think here, since there's a possibility we draw the Sturge, so we should just leave like the Robina in the grave. What does his cards do in grave? I think the blue Tang does something.
Well, you can add all of them back almost because of the anemone.
Oh, I would do the Seahorse. Get rid of Seahorse.
Oh, it did work. All right.
Yeah. This is where the Empen would have just been insane, though. This is why this is like we would have had a game like the reverse sweep here, just because of the Elborz alone. We had the Ash.
Yeah, I think we're just doomed in this game. So apparently, on the plus side, we now know that if Wave doesn't negate a monster, their monsters are still like affected.
Yeah, because it's a then. I'm pretty sure it works the same way, and so like they have to like do A then B.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% just because I'm used to end if you do. It's been pretty common lately. Well, we have no real interruption here. They have pretty much what they need to play. I think we're doomed. Oh well. Let's see how they do it. Then we can maybe game plan for game 2.
Yeah, we definitely just pass it on over.
Banish this card from grave special any number of water link monsters from your graveyard whose total link equal 3. Broken. That's completely bonkers. But they're locked in the water. I kind of wish this field spell was actually like a blue card, so like all their cards on the field can be blue.
You know, I always felt like really comfortable whenever I see someone get like locked into a certain like attribute or like type, and then I see them still full combo, and I'm like, well, this is not the best situation to be in.
Yeah, well, they are built to do that. Ah, right. A shark.
That's a card. Do we think we see the potential UFD here? Well, no, they're locked into water. So
yeah, they're locked into water. They cannot activate the effects of... You cannot special summon monsters this turn you activate either of this card's effects except water monsters. So they can't activate UFD, they can make it. Something here might have locked them into waters, though. I wasn't really fully following.
They're getting the new Kragans, which are going to be really good, and Brothers of Legend.
Yeah, Brothers is looking crazy. I got the announcements and some leaks earlier today. I think Starlight Rare, Dragoon.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's pretty insane. It's like, please just ban it. Don't give it a shiny rarity.
They can do both things. They can get other people to buy them and then ban it.
Yeah, milk it for all it's worth. Man, still not big enough to beat our Raiza.
Well, it will be in 3 seconds.
I was about to say, never mind. Yeah, that's pretty big.
What can we
That's the
possibly
problem.
draw? Nothing
Uh,
really because of a Toad, right?
Do you remember that card in GX that Jaden just draws, and all of a sudden it's 3 of whatever card he actually wants?
I don't recall that card.
He just like randomly cheats. He just draws a card and it turns into whatever card he wants it to be 3 times.
That is bonkers. You'd think he'd play 3 of it
Yeah.
and draw it every game. There is a card that kind of stacks your deck so you can draw the whatever 3 cards you want. That maybe that's the card. There is a card like that. It's been played in like some weird Exodia decks. You just stack the pieces, or I don't quite remember exactly how it worked. I think you have to have like less life points than your opponent. They have to control the biggest monster, and then it stacks the top 3, and then you draw one of them immediately, and then it means you get 2 more draws that you know.
Yeah, I think this one in particular is unfortunate too, like this game right now. The only thing that I think that we probably could have done differently is I didn't think about it at the time, but he did Ash us, so we probably could have just went like Battle Ocean on top of his deck and then did Ash on top of it. But like it looks to me like he already had like starters anyway, so it never mattered.
And the deck can kind of search Battle Ocean. Like they probably
Yeah,
play more than one Seahorse somewhere.
it's like one card and you can just like go absolutely crazy. So I'm not really concerned about the fact that like that was like a small misstep because he still had full combo like regardless here. We were able to crack the initial lock though, which was good. And play through like the wave,
Yeah, we
but
got to learn about Wave. That was useful.
it's still really nice to know too that the deck itself drew really optimally this game. We just got the unfortunate game where you just kind of lose sometimes.
We also went second with a excellent going first hand in a deck that's predominantly got to go first. But
yeah, I mean, this is just something that you gotta keep in the back of your mind that it does happen. It's not like unnatural. It's all right.
all right, I'm wondering, can he OTK us?
I would imagine.
I don't know.
This,
He can't make a lot of the cards that pop things.
I mean, we have Toucan in hand. He has Omni on board, so
I mean, we're obviously not doing anything. There's no question about that. I just want to know if we're dead this turn or dead next turn. Because I could scoop at any point.
I would honestly already scooped to the next game. I think that is more than acceptable.
Yeah. What can we do?
Definitely putting in Cosmic Cyclone, 100%. That is always happening.
Right.
Another card here that is fantastic would definitely be the Rock. That card is going to be very helpful here. You have an argument right now for Shared Ride because they do add quite a bit.
I think if they make plays, they're going to kill us and it won't matter.
But like if you put in Shared Ride, you'd have to put in the Rock as well because like you just need to be able to see the cards to draw. I would probably side out like a copy of Toucan. I would side out a Pot of Extravagance and a Pot of Prosperity. Here I would definitely be. Usually I would side out like the set rotation if I ever needed like an extra spot, but this is particularly important to have it because we want to be able to shut him off of his field spell immediately.
Yeah.
You'll need like your deck already does enough interruption that I think like in this scenario like Imperm coming out would be fine. Because we're just trying to make full combo. You're not really trying to see interruption as much as your engine because your engine already shuts him down completely. And like especially if he goes normal summon and you go City of Dreams, summon Avian, and then City of Dreams effect, book a Moon of Seahorse, like he kind of just dies.
All right. Should we rock with this?
I would.
All right. Just in case they're, getting impatient. But,
oh, absolutely. Look at this.
It's broken.
I'm absolutely just activating map right away. There's no reason to even activate the unexplored winds just yet. Go ahead and reveal that Robina, and we're off to the races. We got the Cosmic as well. It's just bonkers. So good. Banish that Eglin. Go ahead and summon this out. Get the Barrier Statue. Yeah, this is... Unless he has, like, a crazy sideboard right now, like, evenly or something, this should just be GG's in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get that Barrier Statue. Go ahead, summon out the Eglin, get the Empin, search City of Dreams. You know, the combo.
It's a nice, easy combo.
Yeah, you don't have to think too hard. It's not like Striker plays.
Never did any thinking before.
All right, he hasn't even interacted with us. We can just add back whatever we need to add back here for sure. Then go ahead and go City of Dreams. And then normal the barrier.
Best of luck, water deck. Set 2. Should we bother with doing anything with unknown winds?
I would activate it in set 2. Because if he activates or does anything on his board, like we can just send it to the grave with the tribute summon, so it's always really solid.
All right.
Go ahead, water deck. Meet my bird deck. Evenly lightning storm. Like, oh, gotcha. So this is actually just kind of free value. Which one is that, by the way?
A new one, Spring Girl. I'm not familiar.
I would definitely go ahead and start popping it here. I would go because he's gonna try to attack over it, so I would just go map effect here. Go Robina, add back Eglin. I'm just trying to see if he's trying to interact with you at all. This can go ahead and add. I would just add Sturch. Honestly, here it's fine.
No card in either graveyard.
And then I wouldn't summon.
Anything?
No, because we have to use City here.
All right.
So I wanted to see if he interacted with us at all. So we can go ahead and flip City. He's gonna be able to get to that link 1 here, but that's fine. He's gonna get stuck.
Oh, you can't make the link 1 because you can't.
Yeah, that's right. He's gonna have to leave. No, never mind. Don't mind me. He's gonna have to leave the main phase. So we're gonna go ahead and chain the City here. Like map is just free value at that point. Like it doesn't really matter. You only get 1 normal summon anyway, so you can kind of see what they're trying to do with you. Go Eagle in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this Avian. This should just be GG's all day long. Then Avian over the Robina and the Eaglin.
Well, are we... Hold on 1 moment. Okay. Avian over Robina and Eglin.
Yep. You could use like the wind here to like tribute that monster, but I'd rather like keep it where it's at.
Keep his monster?
Because like we could tribute someone here, but I think it's fine if we just go ahead and use both of ours, and then we're able to use City here in the grave. We can just book moon it.
Should we add back?
Yeah, we can just add back here. It's fine. I don't think he can really do much here through no special summoning. Already wastes a normal summon. Because like, what if you like clear here? Like, obviously at Imperm, like he would have just like started with that. But like, there's like reasons to hold too. So I don't know. This is just fine. Like, you don't have to extend past more than you like need to here. This is also really interesting because like he's just dead, right?
Should be.
So I would probably just activate Prosperity.
Well, that's the one thing that keeps us from killing him if we do less damage. Because we could just normal Robina, act back Eglin, summon Eglin, then tribute his card and attack for game, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine too.
No reason to extend the game.
Go ahead here, add this back. Just add like the toucan, it's fine.
Is there something left to search for Eglin?
Yeah, we can search the other Empen.
And then we can tribute his card with the winds.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we can just summon out the Raiza.
Does the Raiza force us to bounce our cards if we tribute his cards?
I mean, you can like if you want to, you can, or you can just like it really doesn't matter what you summon here because nobody even like if you bounce, like, he's just dead. So like if you, I guess if we're tributing with it, it's fine.
I just threw this on there just because it's probably safer. Probably shouldn't even have activated either of these.
So I'm saying, like, there's not a whole lot you have to do here. Like, if you just literally just start summoning things, like, he just loses. This is a lot of damage on board.
No. And I thought their fold word was taking too long. All right, well, let's see if we can get them in game 3. So we're going second. Thoughts?
If we're going second, this is where it's kind of interesting. Especially cards like Diurnum that don't really matter. I think Shifter is just like the best thing for us here, and like the Imperm going back in. But like we also have the Nibiru. So you also have to consider a couple things here. Is that like the biggest problem with this board is always just going to be Battle Ocean because it makes it protected, and we need to get rid of it ASAP. So you really have to kind of determine what's going to be more impactful here. So I think that we can actually just like leave Imperm in the sideboard here. Because I'd rather keep the Cosmic. The rocks are really important here. And if we're going second anyway, like we need the Book of Moon because we need to be able to play through the
wave.
The wave, sorry. Words. We can probably cut the like the second copy of Duality here because this is where like we need to see our cards, and if we don't, we just lose. And then we can probably go 2 and 2 on Nibiru and Cosmic. Because like Shifter here is just like turn skip, and so like this is fine. You don't want to put in too much sideboard because you'll just lose your hands.
Well, we only took out mostly pots, so we didn't really take out any main deck cards other than what 1 toucan, which has always been dang. All right.
This hand's fine though because we can clear the Battle Ocean. That's the whole problem.
Well, the wave can be used as long as they have this is new. The wave can be used as long as they have like a link 2 or higher, or 3, I think. So they're locked into waters. So now Toad is going to be in play.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem here as well. We'll decide how we're going to deal with that on our top deck. I always like try to wait a second to see because like I always try to formulate it around my hand, and then all of a sudden I get my top deck and I'm like, okay, like the whole
we also
plan's
might
out
draw
the
2
window.
more cards, and then everything will be out the window.
Everyone has a different philosophy on Extravagance, so I always find that really interesting because like whenever you activate Extravagance, it's either like, man, are they going to let me draw 2, or are they just going to negate this and hope that I don't have gas, right? So it's really rough on us right now because we don't have Field Spell. Having the Cosmic here, though, is huge. It just worries me now that we have a lot of dead cards in our deck because that's the problem with siding in things like Shifter, is that it's just dead. Even if we top like a Nibiru, though, and like there's a way that we can crack the board, like let's say he doesn't like stop the Extravagance and we draw like a map or something, we're in a very good position. But if he does, we're going to be in a very bad position here. So we'll see how we're going to go about this. Now, I don't even think that there's a really solid Imperm target, especially when he summons like the Toad.
Wait,
why did you surrender?
So maybe they misplayed, or maybe they couldn't get to what they wanted to, or maybe they were locked into something that we missed. But
I think it's the new shark cards that just like screwed him up.
Yeah, probably didn't know what to do with it. He does have this kind of pointlessly stuck on the board.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do with that right now, I'm pretty sure.
Oh well. Well, let's go back to the deck list and talk about anything that may or may not have come up. Alright, is there anything you could think of that is worth mentioning?
So with the Triple Phoenix in the extra deck, like you just need to be able to play it because Zombie World's a card, and there are people out there siding it, especially being able to dump it with Beatrice and getting to that Necroworld Banshee is a really big issue.
Can this tribute? We can't even use Unexplored Winds to out that, right?
No, because you just can't tribute summon, so like you can't even attempt to tribute summon, which is unfortunate. So this is just another situation where like you just need an instant out. That's why I'm also playing like the set rotation, because it's just an instant out to the Zombie World. That's just like another card for it. But it's also just good because you get the other field spell, because you literally need bird field spell in this deck, or else you can't play. Another thing too is just like the cards that people are maining right now being Shifter. I just don't really feel like it's that worth it in most matchups too, because like one of the most represented decks currently is Sword Soul, and if you use Shifter against that deck, like they just don't care. They can do so much anyways, because like they don't bother. Like, if their cards go to the grave, or like if they use their sudden shift and they get a free token, like they're not going to complain about that. It's a really good card, but like the depreciating value in a deck where you need to see Bird Field Spell is just horrendous, because like if you see too many of this, or if you see this card at all when it could have been like Bird and a Field Spell, Instead, you just do like bird shifter, and they have like one imperm, then you're just kind of dead. Sometimes shifter is just like absolutely needed to turn skip your opponent. But there's still like better cards out there. Like I almost feel like playing D barrier instead of D shifter is just better for you. Because even against like Sword Soul, right? Like that's just an automatic turn skip.
Yeah, but
So
if we're going second, I mean, D-Shifter can make it so we're like going first, and I don't know, in the Cypher match we literally just summoned the barrier statue and won the game.
yeah, but like that matchup wasn't like real. Like if I'm
Oh
going
yeah, for
second,
sure.
like if I'm going second, I'm putting in Nibiru and Dark Ruler because like this deck can deal with boards as well because it has cards like Raiza that can just clear the board, and then like especially if you have like the Elbors and you can treat someone like both the Empen and the Raiza, or if your hand's like okay and you can summon Empen Raiza, like you have the City of Dreams for the follow up and you can put up like the Avian. So like even Dark Ruler in this deck is fine, and you're able to basically just play through what you need to do. Especially like Sword Soul's board, like they only have like the one back row with like the 3 monsters that they will summon. So like a lot of times Raiza will just like deal with that after you like either pop the back row or bait it. So I feel like there's just better cards to be putting in besides Shifter, but everyone's on a very big Shifter high right now. I don't believe in it.
Gotcha. Just a comment on Elbors. Do notice there was a game where we had a water on board, but we booked to make sure we can resolve and put a wind on board. So the extra normal summon requires you to control a Windwing Beast, and this is a triggered effect.
Yeah,
this is a card I'm not really used to.
it's really solid though because it's one thing that you can keep summoning for one all turn long as you can normal summon. So it doesn't just restrict you to one summon being like one less tribute. It's all summons are one less tribute. So like I've had a game where I went Empen, Avian, and Raiza, which is just insane. So it's just a really good card outside of just having like the map. And if you don't have map, then Elboys is a really good thing to fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess if they, which it does mean like if you have this card, you should probably try and start with a wind if possible, so
If
that
you
you can
can.
trigger the effect to do the second summon of another wind if you have another wind. Although if you had the book, apparently we can start with the water. Well, that was just
Yeah.
kind of cool that that came up. That we, because I'm like, we probably shouldn't start with this, but yeah, we might have wound up going into a water and then not had the extra summon. So that card's just a little. I think this card needs a little bit of practice to see how well it works.
Yeah, it's definitely good in theory though. As far as testing goes, it worked out a lot.
Oh
I like
yeah,
how the extra deck is literally just all one big Christmas package though.
yeah.
It's very good.
All right, I think it's gonna kind of wrap this up. Cool. Thanks again, GG. All right, everybody. If you like what you saw, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with people who want to learn how to play Floowandereeze, and stay tuned for more stuff from Legacy Crusaders and GGYGO, and we will see you next time.